All right, good morning from Montego Bay. It's a sunglasses type of day. You're going to have to deal with these. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to regret this video for sure. When you're a YouTuber, you just get that gut feeling about videos that you should not make, and this is one of them. And that's because I'm giving away my secrets that I've learned over the last 15 years about basically how to live in luxury hotels for the absolute cheapest price possible. And if you don't want to travel the world permanently like I do, at least I'm going to show you how to book at the very best hotels for the absolute cheapest rates imaginable. It is spring break right now. Hotels are insanely overpriced. The Holiday Inn, I think, is going for $300 to $400 a night. This hotel, you can't even book for the weekend. If you want to get this hotel for the week, you can only get it for a night or two because they're pretty much sold out. This room is going for $600 a night. This is one of the best rooms they have on the entire property. Yours truly got it for a little over $300, and I had no money down, just paid when I got here. And if you've seen my channel, if you watch my videos, you've seen the crazy rooms I've got, and it would be impossible for me to run this channel economically if I wasn't able to have some type of hack or some type of secret on how to book these hotels. And I just regrettably going to give away a couple of my major hacks today. I promise you, if you use these, the next time you book, you will save hundreds. If you go on vacation a few times a year, you'll save thousands. If you're able to kind of read between the lines about what I say and link some of these exploits together, you're going to do some damage. Like, you're going to do some major damage, which is why I'm a little nervous. Usually YouTubers want their videos to be wildly successful. They want them to go viral. If this thing is a flop, I won't care at all because my knowledge will be safe. In fact, this should probably be like a subscribers only video or something like that. Maybe I should do that. But I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to talk about when to book your hotels, where to book your hotels. I'm going to go over some mistakes that I see some people making. They think they're making pro moves and they're not. And overall, just basically show you how to be in places like this for as cheap as possible. Now, to incorporate these strategies, you're going to need to book your hotels and your flights separately. If you're a pro, you're doing this already. By pro, I mean someone that legitimately travels for a living. Not someone that sells travel for a living, not someone that books travel for a living, not someone that talks about travel for a living, but someone that legit travels for a living is what I consider a pro. And I've yet to meet a bona fide pro that books their hotels and their flights together from a third party in advance. They just don't do it. I can make an entire video on this. They're just two completely different ecosystems. The sweet spots to optimize pricing are completely different. For flights, they're typically 4 to 12 weeks out in advance. For hotels, they're much further out. If you book them together, you're not really able to maximize that. If you want the most for your money, if you want to optimize points and things like that, you should be booking your flights and your hotels separately. If you enjoy working with a travel agent, if you enjoy just having one transaction, if you like just budgeting one lump sum and paying it in advance and just forgetting about it, fine. If you think you're getting a good deal because you're buying your flight and your hotel together in a package ahead of time, that is exactly what they want you to think. If you understand economies of scale, discounting, bulk wholesaling, fungible products, repackaging, repurposing, bundling, verticalities, damaged goods, you'll understand why third parties are able to combine flights, hotels in one package and sell them in advance to you directly for an alleged deal. They certainly are not. So anyway, we want to book our hotels separately, and we want to book them out as far as possible. How far? As far as you can. Several months, if not a year, over a year if possible, since weddings, business events, social functions are 6, 9, 12 months in advance. We want to get out in front of those as quickly as possible. Also, hotel prices are a little bit more predictive and linear than airline prices. Airline prices are more predicated on variable costs, commodity prices. Those are a bit more short-term. Hotel prices are usually a bit more predictable and linear. Thus, their price incline is a bit more slow and steady. We want to get in right away. If you're worried about not knowing your dates, and if you're worried about maybe having to cancel or amend or go somewhere different, or if you're worried about just tying up your money, I'll touch on all those concerns in a second. Don't worry about it. But if you have an inkling, an iota of a place and a time and somewhere you want to be, book it as far out as possible. Where to book is important. You want to usually book directly with the hotel. You're going to find that booking directly is going to give you the best rates. Also, you're going to probably find that's going to be the most flexible cancellation policy. This is important. This is what we're going to weaponize. We're going to use the hotel's cancellation policy to our advantage. I'll touch on that in just a second. Expedia, surprisingly, has really improved both their cancellation policy and their rates. Many times I booked with Expedia and get the same rate I do at the hotel, but I either get it with no money down, like literally zero deposit, or I get a better cancellation policy. In fact, that's how I got this hotel for no money down. I just booked with Expedia. I harnessed their reserve now, pay later feature, which is not available with every single hotel, but if you kind of just pick and choose, you can find hotels that do utilize it. And I was able to plan this entire trip months in advance, lock in extremely low rates, and just pay when I get here with a guaranteed reservation. There are other ecosystems that allow you to book with literally no money down to pay at the hotel. Ryu is one of them. Depending on your Marriott status, you can book a lot of Marriott reservations without putting any money down. But if you're able to find ecosystems that allow you to book way out in advance, several months, if not a year, and with no money down, this alone is literally going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So here are a couple of bookings I have for myself. Here's Dreams Costa Rica. For May of this year, the first 4 nights in May, the first big weekend in May, the entry-level room is $700 a night, just the basic room. Fast forward a year from now, the same weekend in May, just 59 weeks away, that very same room is around $300 a night. Take a look at the Preferred Club Tropical Master, the baller room. You always wonder how I get these baller rooms for super cheap. 7 weeks away from today, at the start of May, for 4 nights, that is $1,500 a night. But a year from now, same days, that room is less than $700 a night. So if you're patient and you're vigilant, you can get that Tropical Master next year for the same price you'd pay for the basic entry-level room this year. I can show you example after example. Here's Sanctuary Cap Cana. I'll be staying there later this year in Punta Cana during on-season, peak season. I got this room for $400 a night. I booked it a year in advance. And I booked this one, I think, 13 months in advance. These rates are insane. If you look at this room right now in July, one of the rainiest months in Costa Rica, in the Caribbean, this room for 4 nights is already over $2,000. For less than $400 a night, November, December, these rates are ridiculous. Once you make your reservation, you're not done. And I've talked about this before. This one is absolutely critical. This is another huge hack. You're just getting started because you want to check that rate either once a week, once a month, maybe every other day, depending on how price sensitive or how vigilant you want to be. And if you see that rate for cheaper, you cancel and rebook. Cancel and rebook, cancel and rebook. I've never encountered a hotel that can limit this. It's basically impossible to police it. Hotels just don't count on you figuring this out. But if I see a rate that's 3% cheaper, 5% cheaper, I cancel, rebook. If I see it again, cancel, rebook. That's how a $2,000 trip becomes $1,600. That's how a $1,600 trip becomes $1,400. If you're booking way out in advance, I might check it maybe once a week, once a month. And as that date nears, I'm checking it all the time. Now, you definitely want to pay attention to the cancellation policy. Usually it's 3 to 14 days ahead of check-in, but you definitely want to make sure you read the fine print. You also want to pay attention to when you're going to be charged for your stay. This is usually in the fine print. A lot of times, like I said, it's at the hotel, but sometimes a hotel might charge the initial deposit and they might put you on some type of installment plan. At a lot of expensive hotels like a Hyatt Zilara or an Excellence property, they're going to charge you the full lump sum 30 days in advance. Even though you can cancel and get fully refunded up to 3 days in advance, they're still going to collect the full lump sum 30 days prior. These are small details that might really seem intimidating. They can be when you first start diving into this, but you just want to pay attention so you know when you're going to be charged, when you can cancel, and what's going to happen when you do decide to cancel. So when the hotels collect and when to cancel, that's extremely important. Now, some ecosystems are more advanced than others. Ryu, surprisingly, is one of the more advanced ones. You don't need any money down. You can make a lot of bookings, but if you go overboard, they will start to throttle you. I'm talking like 10 or 20. But some ecosystems, some of the most luxurious hotels, they have no clue. You can make multiple reservations for the same hotel, for the same dates, for the same room, and they don't know. When to book, specifically, I talked about booking as far out as possible, but Black Friday sales are a great time to book your hotels. I might book out my entire year on a Black Friday sale. I did that this year with Ryu. I thought the prices were incredible, and then I checked back, I think sometime in January, and the prices were even cheaper. So I canceled those and rebooked again. But a lot of times hotels will just have random sales. They will have their anniversary sales, Black Friday sales, summer sales. Always pay attention to these. And if you see them being extremely lucrative or beneficial, book out a bunch of reservations if you can. And if you don't have to put any money down, or if there's little money down, that is really a great way to save a bunch of money. But you can see how these micro exploits alone are going to save you hundreds, if not thousands, guaranteed, demonstrated. And if you start learning how to link these together, to use them in concert, you're going to do some major damage, which is why I am concerned about putting out the video. But for me, it's all about the love of travel, spreading knowledge, info, and if I can help you travel more, travel better, travel often, travel cheaper. That's what the channel has always been about.